Welcome back to my channel, Ozark's Astrophotography. I'm Don. In this video, I'll show you the apps that I use whenever I take my scope out in the backyard and want to take some images. And all these programs are what I'm going to be using out there, but this one's just going to show what you're going to use on your laptop whenever you're out in the dark taking some images. All of these programs are free. But a few of the programs will allow you to pay for an upgrade and get a few more options. You can either choose to do that or not, but all these programs you can use as a free-to-use program. Okay, one of the software programs that you'll definitely be using if you're going to be into astrophotography and want to make things easy on yourself is AsCome. On their wiki page, they say AsCome is an abbreviation for Astronomy Common Object Model, and it's an open initiative to provide a standard interface to a range of astronomy equipment, including mounts, focusers, and imaging devices in a Microsoft Windows environment. Basically, AsCome is a software that plays the middleman role between the applications we use and our equipment so that they can talk to each other. Here's the download page. You can come on here and download anything you need to download from there. And also, as far as I know, AsCome's only available to Microsoft users, but on their projects and progress page, which is this page right here, they kind of mention that AsCome Alpaca is coming around, which will include the internet, Linux, Mac OS, and small controllers like the Arduino and Raspberry Pi. Since I don't use any of that stuff, any of those operating systems, I didn't really read about it, but I'll link the project in progress page in the description so that you can do so if you like. Okay, the next piece of software that we're going to look at is going to be EQMod, and EQMod is basically for Skywatcher mounts, and it allows me to control my Skywatcher EQ6R Pro mount from my computer. Now, if you don't have a Skywatcher computer, you're not going to need this, but if you have a recent Skywatcher that has the go-to mount, you're going to want to go ahead and download this. This will allow you to be able to run your mount from your computer without having to use a little hand controller. I actually don't really ever put my hand controller on anymore as long as all this is working correctly. So you just go here, you download the whole thing. It's got several files in it. I will be doing a video later that kind of shows how I use the EQ AsCome. Most of this other stuff I don't know how to use or don't need to use, so but I do use the EQ AsCome in there, but you want to go ahead and download everything. So the easiest way to do that is just go to the link that's down in the description and then click on this download button, and it'll download everything that you'll need. So just go grab that. Our next piece of software is really some of the most fun software out there to use. You've probably seen it on a lot of YouTube videos. They talk about it a lot on the forums. But this is Stellarium. You can use this to control your mount. That's a little deeper, but you can use it to control your mount. You can just use it to set up your shots. There's all different ways to use Stellarium, but this is the web version, but you'll want to download it. It's a little easier to deal with, but if you want to search for Andromeda, just come up here and type in, and this will be different on the downloaded version, but this is what it does. It'll take you right to it. You can zoom in and it'll show you what it looks like. And then further down the road, you know, you can hook up your different cameras and your field of views and stuff like that on your eyepieces, and it will actually give you a box that kind of lets you know what you're going to be seeing, what you can expect to see. But to download that, you can go to stellarium.org, and you can download it if you've got Linux, Mac, Windows. I don't know what this beta is. Here's the Stellarium web button. They got a user's guide. Got all this stuff down here you can read through if you want to. I've got Windows 64-bit, so I would download that one, and then you just set it up. So I would definitely go get this one, even if you're just using a camera and don't even have a go-to mount. This is definitely worth downloading and going and checking out, because it's just fun to be able to look at whatever you want to look at out there. Okay, this piece of software is called Stellarium Scope, and you're going to use it if you want to run your mount off of Stellarium, so you're able to slew your mount to a specific target that you found on Stellarium. You'll have to use Stellarium Scope to be able to do that. You'll just want to scroll down here, release 2016-12-26, which is a beta. I think they're all betas, if I remember correctly, but I just downloaded the latest version, which is this one right here, and get that downloaded. There's the download link right here, and you just get that all set up, and then I'll do a tutorial later on how to set the Stellarium up with Stellarium Scope and get everything on your mount slewing to targets you find on Stellarium. Now to everybody's favorite, PhD2 guiding. If you're going to be taking long exposures, you're going to need PhD2 guiding. It sends small corrections to your mount by picking a guide star, and then it watches that guide star, and if it starts to move left, it'll push a correction to the right, and if it moves up, push a correction down, and it does that in very, very tiny increments, and keeps your scope right on target. So really great program, really easy to use. There's tons of information out there on it, but if you have Windows, you got version 2.6.6 right there. If you're on a Mac, version 2.6.6 over here, and just get those downloaded, and really you could almost set this up without a problem. It's really not that hard. They've done a really good job of making it what the name stands for, which is Push Here Dummy. Okay, this is APT, as you'll see it in the forums a lot, or Astrophotography tool, and it is, like they say, the Swiss Army knife for your astro imaging sessions. You can use just about any kind of camera on APT, and it can help you plan, collimate, align, focus, framing, controlling, tethering, imaging, synchronizing. You can read it. There's a lot of stuff this program does. I love it. There's some other ones out there I'm looking at, but right now this is the one I'm using and trying to get good at. And it's really simple. There's a ton of information out there on it. This is their home page. This isn't where you go to download, but you can click right here and it'll take you to this page, which is the download. You can download the demo version, and the demo version is free, but you'll have a thing up there asking you if 18.70 euros is too much for this program. It'll kind of be in your way a little bit. It is not too much for this program. I can't remember what that turns out to be, but it's a little over 20 bucks to go ahead and buy it in US dollars, and then it's, you know, about 7 bucks US dollars per year to keep the license, and it's well worth it. I love this program. It's pretty easy to use. There's a lot going on, so a little bit of a learning curve, But definitely a good starter program to get up and running as quickly as possible and get some imaging sessions under your belt. So definitely check it out. Astrophotography tool. I'll be doing a tutorial on this one as well for all the stuff that I do know. Another good piece of software that will just make your life a little bit easier when you're out there in the dark and you're wanting to see something, or you're wanting to keep your night vision good, is Backyard Red. I've got it downloaded on this computer, even though this is not my laptop I use, but you can kind of see what it does. It just sits up here at the top, and you can use a slider to adjust the redness of the screen, and it's just great. It makes everything so much easier. You don't have to put a red piece of film over your computer. I've heard of people doing all kinds of stuff. You just basically move this slider where you want. I usually keep it, I don't know, probably somewhere about there where I can still read everything, see everything okay, but it's not really killing my night vision. Probably going to be the easiest piece of software you download and install too. All you have to do is just click the download link. I think you just click here, go over here, download this file. Once it goes out, it's an exec file. You'll click on that exec file and it pops this up here. It's basically that easy, and that's Backyard Red. Just another little thing that just makes everything a little bit easier to do when you're out there in the dark. And you can get rid of it too, so you can turn it on and off as needed. AsCome Plate Solver. This is a program that can pretty much let you get rid of your finder scope. I use it in conjunction with APT, Astrophotography tool, and whenever I get started, I'll get everything set up. I'll get my polar alignment done. I'll point my scope somewhere in the sky with some bright stars. I'll take a quick photo, or an image, I guess. And once I take that image, I'll click on a button in there that uses AsCome Plate Solver to solve where the telescope is looking. And once it does that, you can sync that, and then your telescope knows exactly where it's looking towards. And from there, you don't have to do the 1-star or 2-star alignments. You can just do an AsCome Plate Solver. There's another one as well that does plate solving. I use this one, and I use the other one. And the other one is this one right here. Plate Solve 2. So you can download one or both of these. I've got both of them downloaded. I don't think you need both. Somebody wants to put that in the comments whether you need to have both or not. I started out with the AsCome Plate Solver and just used it, but then eventually I was doing something a little differently, and it required the Plate Solve 2. So I just keep both of them downloaded and use them like that. But yeah, you just go to the latest release, click that for Plate Solve 2, and then over here, I don't know where their download link is. There it is, right down here at the bottom. Just download AsCome Plate Solver, and yeah, sell your finder scope. Makes everything a lot easier, and that's what we're trying to do. The easier we can make things on us out there in the dark, the more imaging we get to do. This kind of shows what it does. Is you snap that picture, and then this has different images in a library, and it compares those images to the images you've taken, and it matches everything up and tells where your RA and deck are as opposed to where you're at on Earth. So it's pretty neat little program, and sure does make everything a whole lot easier.